Hey guys, so I have a video by this guy. His name is SomeOrdinaryGamers, and as you can see, I've watched like the first like minute of this or so, and like right off the bat, he starts saying some really dumb stuff. So I thought it might be worth covering because this guy's actually pretty huge. He has like 2 million subscribers. This isn't on his channel, so this isn't like an actual video that he's made. I believe this is taken from a stream. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like he starts saying some really dumb things, and I thought I'd cover it. So let's listen to what Mr. Mutahar has to say.
Gay porn. New Catholic Order just wrote gay porn in the chat. Bro, come on, man. We can't just devolve into that point yet, alright? God damn, dude. We can't just devolve into that point yet. I've seen the fucking leaks for Last of Us 2, man.
Oh, by the way, so this is about leaks. So at this point, I do not believe that, like, as of the point that he recorded this, I don't think that he'd played the game, right? Yeah, like, I don't think it was possible for him to have played the game. So everything that he's about to say is just from the leaks.
I'll be real with you. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm some fucking person against like trans rights or some shit like that. I don't care.
Now he's about to say a but, and generally speaking, when the word but is used, anything that comes before it means literally nothing.
But can we just be real, man? Like, why is it that in a game about zombie apocalypses, are you gonna fucking make some radical changes like that? Why? In a game about zombie apocalypse?
Okay, so I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Hopefully he gets into it later on in the video, but he's either talking about Ellie being a lesbian or Lev being trans.
Do we have to bring politics and all this involvement into it? Like, can we...
Oh my gosh. Why must you bring politics into this game about societal collapse? Why must you bring politics into this world that showcases how shitty humanity is when there isn't a central, like, commanding a government? Gosh, why must you make this game political? Why do you have to bring politics into my games?
We just have a fucking game.
Just give me my game. Why do you have to put a woman in Battlefield? This completely apolitical game about World War I. Why do you have to bring politics into it? It's so... gosh, these SJWs just infiltrating my games.
About a zombie apocalypse? Like, I'll be real. Like, I don't care, about, like, representation. I really don't. Like, representation, I think, is fine and dandy.
Yeah, I'm sure you think it is.
When you're putting it above a storyline and, like,
so,
the actual, like, crux of your gameplay, I don't understand.
So yeah, at this point, when he's saying this, he has absolutely no idea what the story is. He has no idea. He literally, all he knows is that there is some sort of representation in the game. He has not seen any of it in context. So all he knows is that there's some sort of representation in the game, and he's getting upset about it. Yeah, no, it definitely has nothing to do with, you not wanting representation in games. It's all based just because you just care so deeply about the storyline. Yeah, this is definitely where all this is coming from.
Understand it. Like, why the fuck does that have to... Why the fuck do you have to, like, focus on that more than the zombie apocalypse,
I mean, honestly, because, listen, I played The Last of Us 2, and we've seen so many fucking zombie stories. Like, the good zombie stuff focuses on the characters. Like, I don't just want to fucking watch a zombie movie where it's just a bunch of people killing zombies. I mean, that might be fun, but I'm not gonna get like much. Like it's not gonna do much for me. Like I don't know. Like as in terms of like actually getting something out of the movie, getting something substantive out of a movie. And The Last of Us is a game that is trying to tell a compelling story. So just having them fight a bunch of zombies, like yeah, don't get me wrong, that would probably make for a fun game, but it's probably not going to make for a compelling story. You have to flesh out the characters more.
It's like why? Like I just don't fucking get it. Like I don't get it at this point.
Like, did you not play the first Last of Us? The first Last of Us wasn't really about the zombies. It was about Joel and Ellie developing their relationship. Oh, but a man kind of becoming an adopted father of a daughter. That's not really that out of the norm. So you don't really care about that, I guess.
Man, like okay, not even the whole political side of it, right? But like, I'm talking about like ignore the politics, but like, why is it that you're gonna fucking just ice your main characters, all right, and replace like, dude, it's just, and then like not.
Oh, so is he talking about Abby? I guess he's talking about Abby. Oh, so by the way, I pretty much tried staying away from the leaks. Oh, actually, did I? I don't think I gave a spoiler warning. Potential spoilers for The Last of Us 2 if you haven't played it. I don't know how much. I haven't really spoiled all that much this far, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna have to spoil. But I actually am gonna give pretty much the big spoiler right now. So if you haven't played The Last of Us 2, probably shouldn't watch this video. So, warning: leave now. You have been warned. But okay, I believe he's talking about Abby and how you play as her for like the last half of the game. Before you switch back to Ellie. Was in the leaks, because I tried to avoid them as much as possible. Was it like part of the leaks that Abby was a trans character? I'm not sure, because Lev was a trans character, and you don't play as Lev.
Not only that, but they have to. What is the enemy? Like a fucking cult, like a religious cult in the game? Like, bro, what?
What? Why is that a bad thing? I don't.
Who gives a shit, man? Like, stop it, okay? You know.
What? What? Why is that like a real? Like, cults are good bad guys. They just are. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, religion is really creepy. It's really easy to make religion really creepy. Okay, actually, wait. This guy has a problem with religious cults. Isn't like every Call of Duty about like fighting terrorists? I'm gonna go on a limb and assume that you haven't made a bunch of videos complaining about the fact that you don't care about terrorists. Oh my gosh.
You know why I like you know why the original Last of Us is like a pretty good game to me?
Please tell me.
Like,
Tell me.
The original Last of Us pretty much just focused on an entire group of characters, and it was like literally a point to get from one area to another point, okay? Like go from like Boston to Salt Lake City. Like I actually liked the original Last of Us because like bro, honestly like it made me feel a lot. Like I saw the connection between these characters go from like they don't give a shit about each other to like, oh shit, wow, they actually really care. You know the best part about Last of Us?
What? I mean, yeah, that's a good story, but like you can still do that with like a trans character or a lesbian character. Like they're not like those two storytelling techniques aren't like you don't have to choose one or the other. And by the way, obviously he hasn't played it yet, but that's pretty much what the second half of the story is with Abby and Lev. Except, oh no, but because Lev is a trans character, it's political for whatever reason.
was like fucking just that, like the last minute, okay, like the last section when Joel's in the hospital and he like, because you have to understand, like he's been with Ellie for so long, and like you have to remember when Ellie almost gets fucking like diddled by that one cannibal dude in the winter chapter, he starts referring to her as if.
Hey man, that was a really political chapter. That's dealing with rape culture. That's like a really political chapter. How come you're not upset? Because they got really political in that section. I don't understand. Like that was a pretty political section. Why weren't you upset by that? Why? I don't understand, Mudar.
As if she's his daughter. So when it comes time to like a man who's about to lose his daughter again 20 years later, bro, I gave a shit. I went Sam Fisher Splinter Cell conviction mode in that hospital. I didn't give a fuck about stealth. I stole me some goddamn M4 rounds and I fired bullets into those fucking fireflies. And I didn't care about no fucking cure. I wasn't willing to lose a friend over some bullshit cure that would have existed or not. That's what made the original Last of Us fucking great. You understand that? Like, I like the original.
Hey, that's pretty political, I would say. I would say like developing a vaccine to save humanity. I mean, I would say that's pretty political. Having to make a decision like that, that's pretty political. I mean, am I off on that? Like, I mean, obviously, like, government is like a made up thing. Like, so I would say that the Fireflies, their whole community, it was a form of government, and Joel was basically a terrorist who went in and murdered everybody. Well, a bunch of people. Obviously, not everybody. And he basically dismantled an entire nation. If you really, so I mean, yeah, that was a pretty political section of the game. I'm just saying.
For that, I don't care about the fucking ulterior politics. If I did Last of Us 2, I'll be real, I would have ignored Ellie and I would have ignored Joel. You don't need them. Last of Us 2 would have been fucking great if it focused on an entirely new set of characters that had their own issue in the world of tomorrow. Because you have to understand, something like The Last of Us, it's not really about Ellie and fucking and Joel. It's actually about like just the scenario you're in. It'd be so much more greater for them to have focused on another group of people. Maybe focus on people like, trying to get from one point to another. Like, it would have been better if they made Last
I mean, they do that, kind of.
of Us like that. You didn't.
But again, he hasn't played the game. He doesn't know if it would have been better. Like, I mean, yeah, and okay, so I guess this part isn't necessarily about him being a potential bigot. But I mean, like, whenever people see a movie or a game that they don't like, they often say, well, if they would have done this and this and this, then it would have been better. But it's like, I mean, you don't know that. That's basically just saying, well, if the movie would have been good, then it would have been good. Because, like, you can give your own idea for what would have been better or worse, but at the end of the day, it's all about the execution of the creatives behind the project. I don't know, like, seeing something you don't like and then trying to, like, rewrite your own story is kind of pointless, because at the end of the day, it's all about the execution.
You didn't need to have these, like, fucking factions and, like, delve into the... It's the end of the world. The world's over. You might as well focus on what would happen with another group of people and call it a day. That's what I think would have been better. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, I personally, if I was to develop it, that's what I would do. Like, I wouldn't go out of my... I'm not going to watch the leaks because I know that Naughty Dog's going on a fucking...
Oh, so, if those different characters are lesbian or transgender, would that be okay? Those different characters? I don't know.
On a censor.
Or is that too political?
But it is what it is, man. Like, can I be real about it? Like, that's what I think. Like, and the reality of it is, it's like, do I care if they introduce a character that's transsexual? I really don't. Like, I don't care if you introduce, like, a transsexual character.
Do
like,
you
I know
care
a lot of
or
people
not
on
care?
Reddit lose their shit about, like, oh, this character is a transsexual. Well, they're trying to push some message. It really doesn't matter, okay? Like, it just... If the character's good, I don't care if the character's fucking, tranny or gay or whatever. As long as they're a fucking good character, they're a good character.
Okay, wait, what were you talking about
Okay?
at the beginning?
Here's the thing that like people don't like is like if the only identity of a character
Mm-hmm.
is their gender or their race, that's a shitty character, okay? Like how many times have you watched like
Okay, but you don't know what the character is. You haven't played the game yet. What are you talking about? How do you know if it's a bad character? Again, I wish he could go more in depth here.
for instance, a main character to any movie or video game could be some Indian guy, right? If the guy is fucking good, if the character is good, you know what you don't notice? You don't notice their race or their fucking sexual characteristics. You don't care. You notice their character. It is what it is. Like for instance, I watched this show called
See, like people like this, right? It's like you're not allowed to tell a story that focuses on someone's race or sexual orientations, and you're not allowed to tell stories that deal with hardships that people like that might face, right? It's like if you have like a black guy in a movie, he just has to be like this static person. He can't have anything that has to do with his race be involved in the movie. It's like it's actually really funny because like these people like this, they'll say that, oh, the SJWs are ruining creativity in Hollywood and they're hampering creative people's visions because they're just demanding diversity. But it's like, no, it's people like this that are actually hampering creativity, and saying, and it's actually people like this that are like putting limits on what creatives should be allowed to do and the stories that they should be allowed to tell.
Ozarks, right? Like, I don't know how many people watch the Ozarks, but there's some gay characters in it.
I never
I
watched
don't
that show.
care. The gay characters don't fucking matter. There's like this one gay FBI dude, and there's a lot of like gay scenes with him. It doesn't matter. Like his sexuality doesn't come up. You know what comes up in that episode or about that character is how much of a piece of shit he is as an FBI officer, and that's what I like about it the most. It's literally about making a good character, and then focusing on all that shit later. Like you understand that? And like Last of Us 2, man, I honestly I don't even think I want to get it. Cuz it's just like they don't even care about the storyline of it.
You don't know that. You haven't played the game. You literally have no idea how well they're utilizing these characters. Again, I wish I knew exactly how much he knows about the game at this point in time. But either way, whether he's talking about Ellie being a lesbian or Abby potentially being trans, or maybe he knows about the Lev character, either way, he does not know how the story is executed. Literally, just the knowledge of these elements being in the game is turning him away from the game.
Like they don't give a shit about the story of Last of Us 2. They care more about like spreading diversity, politics, and all that nonsense first, and like
Again, he's like earlier in the video, he's like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about them having a political agenda, and then like 4 minutes later, he's like, all they care about is spreading their political agenda. Like, what do you?
throwing in like a religion bashing segment. Like, dude, sure I haven't played the game, but so far the leaks
Yes.
don't sound like an overall good story. They completely lost.
You don't know. You don't know. It's like you're literally just hearing what the story is about. And so here's the thing. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but you watching a movie that like has a gay character or whatever. If you watch the movie and then you say, that character wasn't really all that compelling, that's fine. That doesn't necessarily make you a bigot. But if you hear about a gay character, but if you hear about a gay character, and just that makes you not interested in a game. I mean, then I gotta question it. I gotta question whether or not there's something going on there.
The magic of what made the original like Last of Us great. Everyone I've ever talked to about the OG Last of Us gave a shit about the relationship between two characters building throughout it. That's it. They didn't fucking care about anything else. Dude, Joel could have been a fucking Satanist and it wouldn't have mattered to me. Like, that's what... Dude, the first section of that game still hits me. You know, when you play Last of Us 1, in that moment, you know when you're doing the introduction chapter and you're like escaping the city and the fucking army dude like shoots your daughter? Bro, that moment still gets to me. And then it cuts 20 years later and you...
I mean, that moment is pretty, I would say it's, pretty, critical about military, isn't it? Right? That the military is willing to potentially kill people, in the name of their mission. I would say that that's pretty critical of the military, and I would say it's pretty political, dude. But yeah, I guess no, it can't be political, because it was all straight white people involved in that situation.
You fucking know that this dude's busted inside. And just that makes it so when you get to the end of that game and he has to relive it again, bro, fuck you. You don't play a game for 10 fucking hours building a relationship between two characters and then having to see them almost die again. Fuck that. You go in and you make...
Yeah, by the way, literally, so like everything that he's talking about here, like, I don't know, I played The Last of Us Part 2, and like pretty much everything that he liked about the first Last of Us can pretty much apply to The Last of Us 2 when in the relationship of Abby and Lev. I would say so, pretty much.
Make it right. And you know what? Here's the thing. For all the people who are like fucking really pissed about the gay shit, here's the thing. The gay characters didn't matter to me because guess what? If you actually played Last of Us 1, Ellie was already a lesbian. That's it. So what the fuck does it matter? It wasn't about someone's sexuality. It was about how good of a character they are. That's it. Like, thank you, Sauce, for being a new member. I know a lot of people donated, but like...
So then why do you care about The Last of Us 2?
I have to get this out of my head. Like, I love good storylines.
When you haven't played it.
When you sacrifice a good story for this shit.
You didn't play it. You don't know.
You know? And will I get the game? Probably not. You know, maybe I'll wait. I don't know. Maybe I will get it. I'm not sure. Like, if the game is good, the game is good. Personally speaking, the new Assassin's Creed looks fucking amazing. Like, this new Assassin's Creed trailer?
That new Okay, this is a side point. You know what that new Assassin's Creed game looks like? It looks like a new Assassin's Creed game. That's what that new Assassin's Creed game looks like. But I don't know. It's a different topic. But yeah, it's like throughout the video, he constantly says, "I don't care about if a character's gay." But literally all he knows about the story is that there are gay characters in it. And he's like, "You're focusing too much on the gay characters." Like, you don't know that. Literally all you know is that there are gay characters. So like, this... Like, it just, you know... So that's why, like, pretty much anytime somebody says... I don't have a problem with gay characters. Like, unless, like, if they're making this argument after they've seen something, then maybe I can take them a little bit seriously. But, like, in a situation like this, where at the point that he recorded this or streamed this, he hadn't played the game. He has no idea what the context is. It's like, I don't know. There might be some, I don't know. There might be some underlying feelings here that he's keeping to himself. And by the way, actually, like if you actually like pay attention to what he's saying that stories should not deal with troubles that gay or black people, or hey, in his case, Indian people might be dealing with. It's like stories should only be like completely apolitical. And by the way, when he says political, he basically just means like like LGBT and race issues. I'm pretty sure that's his definition of politics, because obviously like wars aren't political. Just complete collapse of society, that's not political. So basically, yeah, like games cannot cover gay or trans race related issues. And it's just like, I wonder why those specific things are the ones that he feels should not be covered at all. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought this video was interesting, and I kind of wanted to cover it because he just started saying some really silly things at the beginning, and I think I've said everything that I have to say about it. Goodbye.